Hey backpackers, and welcome back to Off Grid. My name is Dave and I'm into backpacking, hiking, and gear. If you're into those things too, please consider subscribing to the channel. Today I've got another first look coming at you. And do you guys like to get comfy when you're at camp? That's what these are for. These are the Exped camp slippers. I've been going back and forth for quite a while on these bad boys, deciding which kind of footwear did I really want to use when I got to camp. And the reason why I say that is because I was kind of debating between two different styles. One was, do I want to have some accurate footwear for when I'm doing stream crossings? And then I was looking into kind of like water gear for your feet. And then the other style was going to be these. So you obviously know which ones I ended up choosing. So instead of actually getting some sort of water crossing shoe or waterproof shoe, I decided to just stick with my trail runners and then grab a pair of waterproof socks and use those if I knew that I was going to be on a trail where I had to do multiple stream crossings. So that would help protect my feet, and then once I got to camp I could just air those out, take the insoles out of the trail runners, and then slide your puppies into these warm, comfy little guys here. So I'm going to be going over the specs, I'm going to be going over the price, my initial first impression as far as like how comfortable they are, and a lot of other good stuff on these guys. So the first thing that I'll say is that it was basically between this product and another one. I was looking into, I think the Rab slippers also are another one of the contenders. They also have an insulated slipper that is not down, so that's the other thing too that I wanted to avoid. I didn't want to have a down slipper when I was out and about and around camp, because it was just another thing that I didn't want to have to like worry about cleaning in a different way, and also worry about getting wet, because you know, if you're just walking around, having down booties in your tent is quite different than having down slippers for when you're kind of walking around camp. So I decided to go with these. These are made by Exped. They're a little bit cheaper. I think the weight was relatively the same too, and this is a non-down version. This is just a synthetic fill that's in these. As you can see, there's not a whole ton of loft in here, and there's not a lot of super like cushiony materials. Very little, but it's enough to kind of like insulate your foot and to keep it a little bit warmer. They also have on the bottom here, they've got sort of like a I'm trying to think of like what this reminds me of. It's kind of like, you know, if you ever use like a gardening glove and they use that like rubberized material that they put over like the tips of each one of the fingers. It's kind of like that material here for the sole. So it's like the bottom portion of it, and then it kind of rides up on the side over here, and then just kind of like goes all the way around to the back. And that's really just to try and keep the sharp sticks and other pokey things and rocks from like getting in underneath. The other thing that I'll mention about these is that there's not a lot of cushion on the bottom of these. It's relatively flat. These themselves pack very easily, so that's definitely one of the pros. But one of the cons is going to be that there's like hardly any support on the bottom of these. So if you're looking at the reviews either on Amazon or elsewhere, one of the biggest knocks that it gets is that people are saying that it's just, you know, like sharp, like pokey things kind of like hit underneath, and it's not really comfortable. The other thing that I'll mention about these is that the sizing I think is way off. So I'm normally a size 10 shoe, and I think the size range on these is they have a small, a medium, and a large range on these. So I'm looking at it online right now. For the small, they say that it fits shoe sizes of 5 to 7. The medium fits shoe sizes of 7 to 9. This is the men's sizes. And then the large fits sizes 10 to 11. And they also have an extra large that fits sizes 12 through 19. So as you can see, that's a pretty broad range of foot sizes in between there. So I got the size large because they said that it fits anywhere from like 10 to 11. I found that I have way too much room here from like the front end to the back. So, and I was afraid that if I went with the medium where they say it fits sizes 7 to 9, that it was going to be too small and that my foot was going to be poking out of it. So I went with a large, and I think it's a little bit too large. So the sizing, I think I definitely have to take a point off for that one. So let's get into the overall weight and then the price price point on these bad boys. So I got these for $40, but I think I saw them online as low as $30 on Amazon. So I'm gonna put a link in the description below. It's an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you guys anything extra, but if you click on that link and you end up purchasing these through Amazon, I get a very tiny portion of the kickback, and that helps out the channel. All the proceeds that I get from that help out the channel, so I appreciate you guys on that. But around $40, I think the Rab that I was looking at was around $50 or $55, so these are definitely a little bit cheaper. Like I said, I think the weight was right around the same. I'm not 100% sure what the Rab weighs for their synthetic insulation footwear, but for this one, the total weight for my pair I think is about 6 ounces on the scale. I haven't done my own scale at home yet. That's just what the listed weight is, but I'll definitely, if I end up doing that, I'll post that in the description as far as like what my home scale ended up weighing. But around 6 ounces total for the pair. It's not just for one, it's for both of these. And like I said, it's super compact. You can fold them over, and they're super lightweight too. So I really just wanted something that I could end up getting to camp and then just, you know, relaxing with, taking off the more rigid trail runner or hiking shoe, boot, whatever you got on, and then slipping into something a lot more comfortable, but at the same time is still insulated. So another option that you guys might have been looking at would be, you know, if you're looking for a camp shoe, would be like a flip-flop or a Croc or something like that, but none of them are really insulated. And maybe some of the Crocs are, I don't really know. I'm not really into the Croc game, but I really just wanted like something that was insulated, something that was somewhat comfortable. Like I said, there's no support in these, but it's insulated, it's covered, and it is a synthetic fill, so it's super easy for me to wash. I just throw it in the wash and then the dryer on low setting, and you're good to go. And this just kind of like fits that bill. It's something that I really, you know, I just wanted a comfortable camp shoe. And when I got to camp, I could just relax as much as I could and not have to worry about my feet getting wet or being more wet than they already are. So having a dry option to get to, especially if you're doing stream crossings like I had mentioned, when you get to camp, is super beneficial for you to have. So yeah, this is basically just like a first look, first impression on these. Haven't tested them out in the field yet, just kind of like traipsing around town with them, going to the grocery store. No, not at all. I haven't tried these out yet, but I'll definitely let you guys know when I get out into the field and try these out, as far as like not only like how they feel when they're out in the backcountry, but also like long-term use, how they hold up and things like that. But for $40, it's really not that expensive, so I wouldn't really expect them to hold up super long out in the field. So you know, it's really just I just wanted like a cheap camp shoe that was comfortable and could insulate my warmth a little bit on those chilly nights. So I'm really looking forward to testing these out. And today's shout out is going to be going to an old time veteran. He doesn't really need any kind of introduction. He doesn't really need a shout out, but I figured I'd give it out there anyway because I've been watching his videos for a decently long time, and that is Darwin on the Trail. This guy has his own outdoor channel. He's got his podcast rocking. He's got a bunch of Patreon followers and everything too, so he doesn't really need any shout outs from me, but I just wanted to give him one because I really respect what he does and appreciate all the content that he puts out for everybody on YouTube. He has a lot of great content. He's a super big outdoors guy. Like lived in a van for a really long time, and his whole life is really just like getting out on the trail and doing different things. He does a lot of bike camping. He does a lot of through hikes. He does a ton of miles when he's out on the trail. So you definitely have to check out his channel if you're looking for some really great content. So that's going to do it for this week. Camp slippers, are they worth it? I'm going to find out. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys, whether or not you use them, what kind of camp shoe you use, why you chose the camp shoe that you did, and any other pros and cons and tips and tricks that you think that I would like to know, or anything that I missed in this video. I'd appreciate, you know, just giving me a quick comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on just camp shoes and camp slippers just in general. So that's going to do it for me this week. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, if you're heading off grid, make sure you do your research and you make it a good one. I'll see you all in the next one.